Welcome back to the Full-Time Ultras. This is the Premier League review show and another Premier League game week has passed by. We've got the gang back together. Over there we have Aditya in his fantastic Japan jersey.
Yeah.
How was the game week for you, Aditya?
Frustrating ultimately. Good performance, but we should have held on for a win,
Yeah.
I feel. But overall, some good games. So
We'll talk more about Chelsea and Arsenal. Definitely a lot to talk about in that game. Raghav, how was the week for you?
भगवान की दुआ थी जीत गए thank you
Frustrating watch, no?
it's always frustrating to watch Manchester United in one way or the other
Yeah.
but okay
We got
won.
by. We got the 3
We won.
points in the end.
I think for now I think that's all that matters for me.
Fantastic. And how was it for you, JD?
Yeah, it was a fun game week to watch as a neutral fan.
Yeah.
To watch all these high intense games like
Yeah.
Chelsea Arsenal, for example. It was
Mm.
quite fun to watch and also bagged a lot of points in FPL.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good week for me, I guess.
Yeah. And watching the Premier League, it's really the Premier League having it back. It's really the best football to watch on TV, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
You have to agree
Yeah, I
to
have to
that,
agree.
right? I know you're a
Big
PSG
names.
fan, but yeah.
Big names, big clubs, good history. So, yeah.
And the games are also more competitive.
Yeah, it is fun to watch.
It was more competitive than PSG versus Strasbourg, right? Strasbourg.
Yeah.
The Lagan League, but
We could just go on with this.
yeah.
Shahad
That's a discussion for another podcast. But we'll get back to the review. Lots of things to talk about. Lots of brilliant goals. Lots of handballs. Some red cards. Yeah, we're going to discuss all about them. And there's only one place where we can get started is Arsenal versus Chelsea. We'll start with you, Aditya. A very interesting game. Started off pretty well for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal clawed their way back in.
Yes.
What did you make of the game?
First of all, I would like to take some credit for my prediction. I was right. We did surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like we were a lot better in the first half
Yeah.
than Arsenal.
Y'all were hands down the better team in the first half.
Yes. They didn't have any shots on target, I believe, in the first half.
Yeah.
Sure, like one of the goals, like one was a penalty, one was a
Yeah.
shanked cross, let's be
Yeah.
honest. I feel like this is what I expected from us because we gave Arsenal a run for their money.
Yeah.
But being 2-0 up, I feel like we should have held on to that.
I think it's called a shank cross because it was Mudryk who scored. He can't mean it because
Oh,
he
we
can't score goals.
we'll come to that. But I think like you said, there wasn't much that happened in the first half except for things took a turn with that handball. So we'll get straight away into that. William Saliba's handball from a cross. Let's cut to the chase. Do you think that was a handball?
No,
Why
It was a
don't
handball.
you think it was a handball?
because I don't think that William Saliba can do anything about that when he's standing literally 2 centimeters away. He's 2 centimeters away from the ball
Yeah.
and he's not looking at the ball.
Yeah.
It's not that. I think it was Gusto who crossed the ball.
Sterling's cross.
Sterling's cross.
Yeah.
If it had hit Saliba directly, then it was a clear handball
Yeah.
because it's coming from like 10 yards away or it's a cross.
Yeah.
But Sterling has crossed the ball.
Hmm.
It is Mudryk has headed it onto Saliba's hand,
Yeah.
which is like if the head is here, the hand is here.
Yeah.
So how can you expect a normal human being to react within this? How can you expect a human being to react within that time when even he's challenging for the ball?
Yeah.
Even he's challenging for the ball, and you can't literally expect a human being. I'll say human being because
The response time was
Yeah,
very
response
less,
time
is what
less
you're
and
trying to
you
say.
can't expect him to go for a header with hands behind his back.
Yeah. Coming to
Realistically.
that, JD, we played a lot of football.
Yeah.
You've defended a lot. And when the ball loops past onto you, right, the natural instinct when someone jumps to take a header is he leaps with his hands
Hand up,
higher.
yeah, right.
So what did you make of that? Like, his hands are high, but is it really that far enough that Saliba can do something to take his hand back into position?
I feel it was a harsh decision
Yeah.
because as a defender, when you're jumping or heading or going for aerial battles, your hands are always going to go up.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to just stay like this and jump. It's not
Yeah,
possible.
you can't
It's
jump like
humanly
that.
not
Yeah.
possible.
People who played the game know that
Yeah.
it's humanly not possible to jump
and also
in that way.
Mudryk was there to score the goal.
Yeah.
Saliba was there to just head it out. So it's like Raghav said, it's a natural instinct, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
You
and the
just-
proximity was very close as well. It's not
Yeah.
like it was like something that was really very far that, Saliba has enough time to react to
Exactly.
it.
But I also understand the argument from the Chelsea side.
Yeah.
They are agreeing for a penalty that there was a contact.
Yeah. It was definitely,
Yeah,
it hit his hand,
Yeah,
but it's like, then there's the rule whether it's intentional or non-intentional.
Proximity.
Yeah, the proximity. Aditya, you being a Chelsea fan, how do you take that decision? Obviously, it benefited you. It put you
Yeah.
in the driver's seat. But do you think that was like really very harsh?
I feel like it was a harsh penalty for
Yeah.
sure. As a defender, you never want those given against you.
Correct.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate a bit here. So what happens is that Saliba is going for the ball, but once he sees Mudryk coming, Saliba then had to scramble and try to get in ahead of Mudryk, and in doing so, he's kind of leapt up he's leapt in front of him in a sense. It's not like he's gone straight up to head the ball. He's scrambling across, trying to get across Mudryk.
Yeah, but his intention is not to put his hand
Yeah,
out. He's just leapt.
I know.
And his hand, because he's leapt, is why his hand is out, right?
It is. I'm not disagreeing with you there, and I think it's a harsh penalty.
Yeah.
But
You're
like
trying to put your legs in the referee's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the reason he's given it's because Saliba. It's slightly desperate from him because he's trying to. He's noticed Mudryk come across his front. He's lost his man. He's seeing Mudryk come across, and he knows he's in trouble.
Yeah.
So in a way, that's a bit of a desperate leap.
Yeah.
And in doing so, his hand comes out. You can't jump with your hands behind your back, obviously,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
you need that leverage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a harsh penalty, but I can see upon review, I can see why it was given.
Raghav, the main generalization as to why people are not comfortable with this decision is there's no consistency, right? People nowadays don't know what a handball is, right? If decisions like this, that with the hands being so close and the players are now expected to leap with their hands behind the back, what is the handball rule? Like, shouldn't there be a generalization? Like, we also have other handballs to talk about. I think those are, where credit has to be given to the referees, it has to be given because those were penalties. But this one surely was not. I feel 80% it was not a penalty. So where do we draw the line when it comes to handballs in the Premier League this season?
I think the ambiguity regarding this rule is just too much. Either say that it hits a hand, make it like hockey. I just said it during the game as well.
Yeah.
Just make it like hockey. Hockey, it touches the leg of a player. You hit, even if you've hit it onto a player's leg,
Yeah.
and it hits a player's leg inside the box.
So in hockey, the player
It's
has
not-
to jump to
exactly,
avoid
whatever
that.
it is.
Okay.
Do whatever it is. But if it hits your leg inside the box, it's a penalty corner. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Either you make that or you make it as clear as possible that what is handball and what is not.
There's also the aspect of the intentional handball and a deliberate handball. So that further confuses the viewer. But I also agree because this is a non-intentional handball, right? He just jumps, he leaps, right? And his hands are out. So he's not intending to put his hand out like say Michael Keane was doing. We'll come back to that in the next game. But this was surely he was not aware of where his hand was when he was leaping.
If you see the clip, I think his eyes was closed.
Yeah.
His eyes were closed.
Yeah.
He wasn't even looking.
He wasn't even
he
looking
couldn't
at the
see
ball.
Mudryk.
And
Let
the other
alone the
thing
ball
was
being
no
hit
one
Mudryk's
knew whether
head.
that shot was on
Exactly.
target or it wasn't on target. You
My
just
argument
can't.
would have been that the only reason that was given is that it was going towards the goal.
Yeah.
But after that, I saw the review. It wasn't going towards the goal. I saw the post-game
Okay.
show. It wasn't going. It wasn't on target.
Hmm.
And still it was given. Referees need to answer. Referees need to have accountability. They need to give post-match interviews.
Absolutely.
I think that's the only way that this can be avoided or bettered. It can be implemented better if referees are made accountable for their decisions.
Can I just interject? I don't think it's so much to do with the refs as much as it is to do with the rule itself, because it's such an open to interpretation kind of rule that You'll have different opinions from different referees on what they see.
That's the problem. If you have different opinions from different referees, that's where the problem arises. Now, if Michael Oliver has given a decision on a certain game week, and Craig Pawson has given the same situation, there's no change in situation, but the same situation, two referees have interpreted it differently.
Yeah.
So if referees are made accountable for their decisions, it makes it easier for the PGMOL to just say that this is the refereeing standard that is to be implemented. Craig Pawson and Michael Oliver have to make the same decision in the same situation in different game weeks.
Surely that goes back to the rule itself, the wording of the rule. Because if you remove ambiguity from the rule, then you have uniformity all over again.
I don't know, man. I just feel that now I'll go back to the Romero handball if it goes like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
feel like
that we'll be here all day.
Yeah,
we'll be
like
here
we
all
can
day.
because that's
free
the
game.
issue when it comes to consistency is there's none, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know what's a handball. Some days you might be it happens to every team. Today it will benefit you, but the next day it won't. So that's what has to be erased from the game at the moment. There has to be a proper law that has to be implemented so that these errors don't happen. But we'll move forward from this. We'll talk about the second goal. Mikhailo Mudryk.
Was that a goal?
Mudryk scoring
What was
goals,
that?
but was that a goal? Was that a cross? What do you make of
It
that?
was a clear intentional cross
Yeah.
from Mudryk, but
Yeah.
ended up in the goal.
And it was actually a very bad cross as well.
Horrible cross and horrible positioning from the keeper.
Yeah,
which led to the goal.
Did Raya was his positioning that
I
bad?
feel he was too ahead.
He was too ahead.
Yeah, I mean he has his defenders over there.
Yeah.
Mudryk was there going for a cross. He has to be ready for the cross, but I think he was way too ahead of his positioning.
Yeah. But
And
was
then-
it? We've seen a lot of fluke goals like that happen in the Premier League. But do you pinpoint that on Raya that much? Because
I would
he's
say
not
it's
expecting something to have some like a cross or a cross/shot to go in the far post top corner. He's expecting for the cross to be flat, to come in front of him. So maybe in a way
I
he's
think
not
it's-
done much wrong over there.
it's part of the reason
Yeah.
that his positioning, but not entirely. I would not blame it completely. But yeah, I think he could have done better in that situation.
Okay. What do you make of that, Aditya? Could he have done better quickly?
No, I think he's done nothing wrong there.
Yeah.
He's been asked to be aggressive on crosses and
Yeah. That's just a fluke.
there's nothing else like that's the only way he can be beaten from there, I feel.
Yeah.
And it's a freak goal.
Yeah.
And he'll prevent more goals doing this thing
Yeah.
than he'll concede, because not everyone's going to like miss-hit a cross so perfectly
Yeah.
that is going to go over the keeper into the far post,
Yeah.
and no one's even going to attempt it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's done anything wrong.
So Chelsea are leading 2-0.
Yeah.
And enter Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah.
What just happened over there? I
okay.
remember we were all screaming.
Yes.
What just happened over there?
So I have a bit of a controversial take about it, I guess. I don't know if it's controversial anymore, but I've gone back and reviewed it a few times, and what I've seen is that, sure, Sanchez's pass was not very firm, or it was slightly sloppy, but fault is equally there on Gallagher because he's sleeping at that point. I don't know what he's doing. He's either looking around or he's just on his heels, waiting for the ball to come to him. Rice nips in front of him and hits it first time. So if Gallagher was a bit more switched on and aware of what's going on,
Yeah.
I feel like that goal's prevented. For
Yeah.
sure, Sanchez, you can talk about goalkeeping distribution all day because that's a hot topic right now. And I don't think he's entirely blameless. Maybe there was a bit of miscommunication from him.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Gallagher being switched off there does not help our situation.
Yeah. Good goal by Declan Rice, right? First
Yeah.
time finish. He slots it in really well. How impressive has Declan Rice been for Arsenal?
I said this at the start of the season when he signed.
Yeah.
I think he is that missing jigsaw piece,
Yeah.
because Arsenal didn't have that midfielder in them.
Hmm.
They didn't have that midfielder. They signed Jorginho.
Hmm.
It was a failed experiment. Thomas
It's
Partey
not a
cannot.
failed experiment.
I-
They're
he-
totally different kinds of players, I
Yeah.
feel.
It is, but they look to play Jorginho in that, but Thomas Partey can't play that. Thomas Partey can't play that role. Declan Rice was needed in this team. I think they are much.
I still
they're a much
feel
better
different
side.
kinds of profiles. I think
Yes.
Partey,
I-
Jorginho and Rice. it just gives Arsenal a little bit more options to play.
It does, but
and I think
that's
Rice
the
was
problem.
always bought to play with one of those two
that's the problem.
midfield profile players.
Okay, so before this last season, what was their midfield?
It was
Odegaard,
Xhaka and Partey.
It was Xhaka.
If you're talking about the pivot.
Yeah, the pivot was so Xhaka. It's an upgrade on Xhaka.
Yeah.
They've upgraded. They have upgraded. Massive upgrade on Xhaka.
Yeah.
Zaka.
Shaka.
Yeah.
Xhaka. Granite. It's a massive upgrade on Granite.
Are you on first name basis now?
Yeah, we are apparently.
Yeah.
So I think Rice is that. I've always said this, and
He started his career well.
He started his career well, and for that price tag, he had to. The
Yeah.
pressure was immense. 105 million is not a joke.
Yeah.
If he hadn't, then the pressure would be on him. But he's done well.
Unlike Caicedo.
Hot
So
takes.
Chelsea still 2-1. So I'm talking about Declan Rice's goal made it
Okay,
2-1,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's still 2-1 for Chelsea. Chelsea's still in the lead. And Martinelli was not particularly impressive in the game. But now Arsenal have the options. They can get someone like a Trossard in. And then as soon as Trossard comes in, he snatches the equalizer.
That was a really good goal.
Saka was involved in that. What do you have to say about that goal?
I think like once you score a goal like that goal which Declan Rice scored, like Aditya said that the players just switched off.
Yeah.
So I feel that brings a momentum, of course.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal started growing into the game. And then, of course, that cross. And I think that finish was really good.
Yeah.
It was like his positioning for the run, for
Yeah.
the cross.
I think what makes the goal is also the cross.
Yeah,
I think
it's
there's
really
everything. The chip in into the far post was
Yeah, both the cross and the finish. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
And that's
it was a typical Arsenal goal.
Yeah, and I really feel that Chelsea should have done better
Yeah.
overall in the game because they were clearly the better side.
Yeah.
And those two goals.
It just got Arsenal back into
like
the game.
even though I predicted 3-1 Arsenal win, after watching the game, I was like, this was supposed to
Yeah.
be Chelsea's game.
Aditya, Arsenal looked very flat, is what I felt. Considering how they played against Manchester City, I think I heard Arteta saying that the international break kind of may have broken their rhythm a little bit. But just to round this game off, were you impressed with Chelsea at least for the first 60 minutes? What you saw?
Yeah, like 75, I'd say, because Chelsea did very well to contain their wide players like Martinelli and Saka. What did Saka do all game apart from that cross?
Exactly.
Before that, he was fairly. Kukurea did a fantastic job. on him.
Kukurea had a very, very good
He was
game.
very impressive. They
Yeah.
tried to double up on him sometimes with Ben White coming forward,
Yeah.
but he held his own there, and I
Yeah.
was very impressed with him. I feel like Chelsea did everything right. Like Arsenal,
Yeah.
they were stymied. They were held at bay for large parts, and that one mistake basically,
Yeah.
changes the game for them.
Yeah. So with that, we'll move on to the next game. We'll be focusing on of course, the Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton. I've got a stat here for you guys. So the Liverpool boss, Jurgen Klopp, has now won 9 Premier League games against Everton. He's overtaken Rafa Benitez, who won 8, for the most wins by a manager in a Merseyside derby in the Premier League. So I'll start with you again, Aditya. Everton, nothing much from them. They kind of started the game in a particularly Sean Dyche setup. What did you make of the game?
I feel like
And
they started
Everton.
quite well, actually. I feel like they were a lot more adventurous in their off-the-ball stuff. They seemed to be more... They were pressing higher up than I expected them to. They were not
Yeah.
just sitting back. I feel like Liverpool kind of struggled to create chances from open play.
Towards in the whole game, we'll speak about
Yes.
Liverpool, but it was not like a typical Anfield dominant
No,
performance.
for
from
sure
Liverpool.
not. Because
Yeah.
Everton really limited them to... I expected more from Liverpool, and I didn't
Yeah.
expect Everton to press so high up.
Yeah.
And
They didn't let Liverpool play.
exactly, they did not let Liverpool play,
Yeah.
especially... Like, they might have played out a bit, but from like the middle third onwards, they were
Yeah.
keeping the pressure on. And especially
Exactly.
the moments in the game where you could see Calvert-Lewin and Doucouré, who was coming up from midfield, pressing really high up. Like they were pressing the Liverpool centre-backs
Yeah.
at times in build-up. And I was surprised to see that, and it was working well for them in open play.
Yeah.
But also they were so open on the counter because every time Everton got a corner in that first half, it felt like Liverpool were going to go up and score.
And the game totally changed from there when Ashley Young got his second yellow card and his marching orders. That was a clear second yellow card. I don't think there are complaints about that.
I think just it was just a ridiculous tackle, knowing that you're on a yellow.
Yeah.
When you're on a
It
yellow,
was
you don't
really
make such tackles.
reckless from Ashley Young because Ashley Young has that experience.
He has, but
And for someone to kind of, I actually jinxed it on the group.
yeah,
I
think I-
I just texted, he's playing so well.
I just said, Ashley Young has had a brilliant performance, and 3 minutes later he got his second yellow card. But it was really reckless from Ashley Young to
it was stupid.
yeah.
Like
Even the
nobody can
first
have
yellow.
any complaints.
Even
Nobody
the first yellow he received,
Yeah.
it was clear run for Luis Diaz. He just blocked
that I
it.
think he was stopping a counter attack. That's why he
And-
got it. But the second yellow was stupid because he knows he's on a
He's
yellow
on
card.
a yellow card.
He-
and
you
it's very
can't make
early
such
in the game.
tackles.
And the,
Yeah.
and the tackle was
Exactly.
pretty naughty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't, and he was at the edge of the box.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz had a cross. If Ashley Young hadn't tackled him,
Yeah.
he was inside the box, and there
Yeah.
was a chance for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I think that was a stupid, reckless tackle. He could have just put his bodies or whatever he could have done.
I think he
But
was too
that
far
tackle was
behind to
too-
do that. I think he was too far behind. He was like, because Diaz has beaten him for pace. He's
Oh, yeah,
gone.
of
Diaz
course,
is gone.
Of course.
Yeah, but
And it's a bit of a lunge. Ashley
it's a
Young,
lunge.
it's a
so
horror.
many-
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
a
a-
lunge.
it's a
but
very
clear red.
you
It's a
don't
clear
need to
red.
do that because it's not like there are no other Everton defenders over there
It's not a
to like
one-on-one
block
with
the
the
cross.
Pickford.
So I don't think it's like a really necessary
Yeah,
tackle to make
I agree.
so early on in
You've
the
got
game.
him. You've got him
I
going.
understood it. I can understand if it's a young defender,
Yeah.
like a young defender who's like just starting off. But Ashley Young, who has so much of experience, 38 years
Yeah.
old, Premier League winner, it just gave the entire game into Liverpool's
Yeah, he did.
hand.
For sure he did. That
Yeah.
was a lunge. It was an
It was
unnecessary
so
lunge.
no debating about
No,
that.
of course not.
Definitely. And then I think no debating about the other decision as well.
handball.
Diaz's cross straight onto Michael
was a
Keane. I think
clear
that's a handball.
That's like that can't be like a wrong decision.
You
for a
can't
referee.
give
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt over there
No,
because
no.
that didn't look.
Even before the contact with the ball that Luis Diaz made, his hand was already there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to do? Shahrukh Khan hai kya bhai? क्या कर रहा है? क्या कर रहा है
Shah Rukh
तू?
Khan with just one hand on top. Yeah.
What is he trying to do over there? You're inside the box.
Yeah.
Liverpool is attacking like with that intensity.
It's just a brain fart moment. I think it.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's really reckless. It's like you could have just avoided one goal with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have blocked the shot.
Yeah.
But what's that? It was so absurd.
I think if Liverpool hadn't scored that penalty or got that penalty, I think Everton would have come away with a 0-0 draw.
I agree. I
I
kind of
think
would have.
I think
disagree on that.
I think
I-
the red card was a big decision.
It
I
was,
think,
but
I
even
think
till
Everton
then-
had something in that game if they had 11 players on the field.
Even with 10 players, they took I think it was 75th,
Yeah, but
77th
with,
minute.
but with
The
10
penalty?
players, you have more pressure on you.
You have, but Everton coped with that pressure, and due to the penalty being scored, being converted, and it being 1-0, the game had to open up. Everton had to attack. They had to open themselves
Yeah, with
up
10
more
men.
than they with 10 men.
Exactly.
Even with 11 men, they would have attacked.
Yeah.
But with 10 men, they are more exposed than they would have been with 11 men.
So what do you make of Mo Salah? He's been
Oh.
brilliant this season. Was on the verge, apparently, of going to Saudi. Liverpool are very reliant on Salah at the moment in terms of goal scoring, aren't
For
they?
sure, he is the leader of the team.
Yeah.
And he leads the attack. We have seen that whenever Salah is not there, they are lacking that bit of, the finishing.
Yeah.
And also, when you have a player like Mohamed Salah, you're a bit relieved as
Yeah.
a fan, as a coach.
You know he
Like,
can pop up from
Just
anywhere and
look
get a
at the
goal.
Consistency,
Is brilliant. He's brilliant.
It's really good, and unfortunately, I can't get him in my FPL team.
Yeah.
It's too.
You'll have to use your wild card.
Yeah, I could have, but
Oh, Liverpool ka Virat Kohli hai.
So Liverpool, I think we are going to have this debate now. Liverpool were leading 1-0.
Yeah.
Konate was already.
Was it 1-0 or was it 0-0? I think it was
Was
0-0.
0-0.
It was
this
0-0 at
nil-
that point.
No, it was
this-
0-0.
No,
It
I
was
think
0-0.
was it?
It
was
was
0-0.
0-0. This was around the 65th minute or something. It was.
The Konate incident was 0-0.
It was at 0-0.
Didn't I'm sorry? Didn't Liverpool? Correct. Yeah.
It was at
It
nil.
was
It was
0-0,
0-0.
correct. What did you make of that? Konate. one-on-one, he just pulls the guy. Sorry, not one-on-one. I'm sorry. He just pulls the. It's a counter attack.
It's
that
a
he
counter
stops.
attack.
It is soft.
It's very soft.
But
Do you see the amount of contact there is? His hand goes like that and immediately comes out.
Exactly. But does the referee whistle? Yes
He
or
does.
no? Does the referee whistle?
He does, but I think that's
Is the counter attack stopped?
I think that's a very soft one for the second yellow.
But is the counter attack stopped?
It is, but the counter attack stopped. But I don't know how much contact there is.
But that's one of the reasons why a yellow card is given, right? Because if, for example, was that Calvert-Lewin or one of the players? Say if the Everton player was playing back to goal,
yes,
and if Konate concedes a foul, that's not worthy of a yellow card, right? Because the Everton attacker does not have space to go forward to. But if this is a direct run, and even if it is a soft challenge, he has stopped a counter attack. So that should warrant a yellow card.
I feel like the Everton player himself has stopped the counter attack as much as Konate has, because there is really nothing in that tackle. There's nothing in it.
You never know what can happen.
Watch it back. There is no contact. There's hardly any contact there. It's like that much.
Fair enough, but but then
he's not dragged him back.
But the referee has whistled for a foul.
I feel like I don't know. I don't even think that's a foul, to be very honest, because there's so little in that.
I agree. The decision that's happened, that's fair.
Yeah.
But if the referee has whistled for a foul for stopping a counter attack, don't you feel he should be getting that card out? And do you think that this has any bearing to do with what happened against Tottenham? I made a point in the preview saying that there will be decisions that it will be on the back of the mind for referees to kind of think that should they pull out this card, will it be more unfair for Liverpool? Do you think that's what happened over there?
I don't know. I don't think so, because you saw riskier tackles escape yellow cards, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I don't think this needs to be as big an issue, or I don't think this is related to that.
Yeah.
Because this is...
Sean Dyche was pretty animated.
Oh, he was very animated.
The Everton fans also
for sure.
That should have been a red card.
Who can you blame them? Because they've seen someone sent off.
Yeah.
For your own team.
Exactly.
And if you have
no debating about that. That was clearly. But I'm just putting myself in the referee's head, and I'm thinking that if I'm the referee on the field, and if I see a Liverpool player pushing down an Everton player in a counter-attacking stance, and if the player is already on a yellow, especially a centre-back, surely another card has to come out, Raghav.
Yeah, but do you want to give a yellow card for something that is not even like a clear foul? Do you want those being handed out? Because then we'll have the debate about, he's dived, or there's like really nothing in it. But he's bought the foul and then he's bought a second yellow and got a red.
Yeah.
Do you want that conversation to happen? Because I don't think that's fair either.
But a lot of players buy fouls as well.
That is true. But it's up to the referee to make that decision. And I don't know if the foul is the correct decision, but at the end of the day, I don't think that the lack of a second yellow was unfair. Because I feel like the challenge really, like, he puts his arm in front and then he pulls it out immediately. Like before there's like any significant contact, his arm's out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't think
I'm not...
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm not talking about the softness. I'm saying if the referee has called it as a foul.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Or not soft. He believes that there is enough contact that the player has gone down.
Yes.
He's whistled. He's called it as a foul.
Yes.
So why doesn't the card come out? That's my only argument. So, what do you make of that, Raghav?
I think that this is one rule where there's no ambiguity. If there is ambiguity regarding the handball, this is one rule where there's no ambiguity, because if the referee has whistled for a foul for stopping a counter attack, yellow. Because that's called
that's a professional foul, right?
Professional foul.
Rodri gets away with it, but in a game of that significance, when you already sent one player off,
exactly,
right?
No, I know, soft or not, contact or not, it's a different issue altogether.
Yeah.
But if the referee has whistled and he thinks it's a foul and it's stopping a counter attack, it's a yellow.
Yeah.
As clear as that.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
It's a yellow. And you can't just base it on the fact that he's already on a yellow. He's a Liverpool player. You're a referee. You think he's
I
copying
don't-
account?
Hang on, I don't think it
think
has anything to do with him being a Liverpool player.
It does. I feel it does.
I don't think it
I
has
feel it
anything
does.
to-
I mean,
that's-
come on.
That's
It-
a bit of a stretch.
Like I say, yeah, that was,
I say it does.
maybe I think he
A certain
he
guy is
had
watching
it,
this.
he
Gonna
had
watch
it
this.
on the back of his head. I still feel that the referees will have it in the back of their head, considering that Liverpool fans are still pushing things out. I saw
Yeah.
Carragher doing it
Yeah.
with Maddison. The replay, the public relation team of Liverpool are playing this fantastically well. I still feel there will be decisions that the referees will give Liverpool to kind of balance that one out. Maybe this was, maybe that was, maybe it was not. We'll have to see ahead.
So you really
happens.
think that Liverpool will get decisions for the next 28 games to just
I think
I wouldn't
balance
say
the fact
we
that
are-
they lost 3 points?
No,
I
we
wouldn't say
are-
28 games, but at least to get the pressure off the referees at the moment now, I
You
can.
need to-
I mean,
You
come
need-
on,
you
man.
need
For
to
3
calm down.
points, you're saying
no
that
one is
they'll
saying
get the-
28 games,
you
but
need
I'm
to
just
calm
saying.
down a bit, man,
I'm
because you're
just
getting
saying-
carried away with
Yeah,
this.
I'm just saying
I mean,
that
this is ridiculous.
maybe at the back of their head, the referees are thinking, but we'll see what happens with Liverpool in the future. We have to move on to the other game. Lots of games to cover. I know we can speak hours and hours about this.
Yeah.
We'll go to Manchester City versus Brighton. City started off fantastically well. I'll start with you, JD. Sorry. Been focusing too much over there. I'll start with you, JD. They started very well, City. Alvarez, Doku was fantastic. I think Doku was putting the big backs on their asses. What did you make of City's start? 2 quick fire goals.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Doku, he was the player to watch.
Yeah.
It was like when you see a match like Manchester City, you focus on Haaland, or
Yeah.
maybe Rodri,
Mhm.
but the way Doku played,
Yeah.
the runs he made past two players, and that assist for Alvarez,
Was brilliant.
it was really
The finish
good.
was really good as well.
Really good. It was such a good goal to watch.
Yeah.
Like as a football fan, when you watch such goals, you're like, that's how you play football.
Yeah.
And then Haaland being Haaland.
How good has Alvarez been?
Oh, he has been a very key player since De Bruyne.
In a different position, playing De Bruyne's position. A little bit higher, but he's playing in De Bruyne's role.
And the part of the contribution that Alvarez is giving is he's finishing, he's giving assists, he's
Yeah.
scoring free kicks, he's making runs.
He's
for
on
you.
set pieces as well.
Yeah, he's dragging the players away from you so that your other players are making runs.
Yeah.
He has been really good. I think since World Cup,
Hmm.
he has been really good.
Yeah. Raghav, we all thought that Alvarez would be the understudy for Haaland, but at the moment he's outshining Haaland, isn't he?
I was just gonna say that he's been better than Haaland this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I totally agree.
apart from the goals and assists, his work rate is crazy. His press, when he starts a press alone. Even in that Arsenal game, City versus Arsenal, he started many presses for City. He almost took a goal. He almost
scored a goal off
He
a
almost
Raya
scored a
mistake.
goal of Raya. Like his work rate is crazy. He's incredible player, just incredible. Seriously good player.
And Brighton didn't have much to do in the first half. I think they didn't trouble Ortega a lot. They started off the second half pretty well. The goal came from Mitoma's brilliance. How good is Mitoma? Everything goes through him, right, in that Brighton attack at the moment.
I wouldn't say everything goes through him, but he's
Especially in that game, I think
Yes,
Mitoma
so
was
they did
trying
give
to
him-
take everything.
Yeah, they
on
did give
him,
him
yeah.
the ball a fair bit and try to isolate him against Walker. Walker's a fantastic defender. But for large parts, especially in the first half, Walker had his number.
Yeah.
But Mitoma did grow into the game, and Brighton as a whole played quite well in that second half. I don't know, the passing was sharper, the movement was a lot better.
Yeah.
First half, City were on to them.
Yeah.
They as soon as
I remember you messaging me saying that, Shan, I think this could be a
yes,
field
exactly.
day
So
for City.
because the way the game started, Brighton strung 3 passes out from the back, and City were on them. It was a suffocating press.
Yeah.
I'm sure De Zerbi made some changes at halftime, and they seemed to work because they were a lot better in the second half, and they really grew into the game
I
after
think
that.
more than the second half, I think Ansu Fati being subbed on changed the game. He was the
That
one who
is
scored the
true.
goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think apart from that as well, Ansu Fati played really well when he came on.
Yeah.
And he because when he came on, I think it brought something different to Brighton's game. And Mitoma was there. I think Mitoma played better in the second half, and he had Walker's number in the second half.
Yes.
But Ansu Fati brought that something extra that they needed to score a goal.
Yeah, but I do think that even before he came on, Brighton were quite good. They were like the
Yeah, but
passing
that
out.
cutting edge that you need.
Yeah,
I feel that Ansu Fati provided that.
obviously, and like I don't know what it was. It could also have been City dropping off because they had a 2-0 lead,
Yeah.
so they didn't feel like they needed to press as high.
Yeah.
But Brighton were definitely a lot better, and I mean, watching some of those passing movements, and they were quite good. Just the way they
It
played
was too
out
good.
in the second half, they were. Like, I love watching Brighton play. They're just too good.
They are an interesting team to
Yeah.
watch to play. Yeah, they are.
So Akanji got sent off in the final minutes of the game. It didn't matter that much, but he will miss the next game against Manchester United. Think it makes a difference, or City have
They have a good
enough players to cover
they
him?
have
John
good
Stones is
squads.
coming
Yeah,
back.
John Stone is there.
Ruben Diaz was dropped for this
It
game.
won't be a big miss, I feel.
Yeah,
And what is it? Home for City?
United home.
I feel there's a pressure from
Yeah,
the crowd as well from the United
Yeah.
side, but I feel it's not a very big miss. They have Ruben Diaz and
Yeah.
Johnston, as you mentioned, so it won't be a big miss. Won't make a big difference in the team.
hmm.
It's just like another rotation for Pep.
City going into that game, they don't go in with the best of forms and the best of confidence against United. But we can say it's typical City. They start out slow, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But in this game against Brighton, they were really good. At
The
start.
first half was good, but the
Second half-
intensity is dropped off in the second half.
I feel against United, there's always this pressure. There's hype of
Yeah,
the match.
it's a derby.
It's
You
a
never
derby,
know what
so-
can happen.
So
Yeah,
the players can just turn on.
yeah,
Maybe the confidence they were lacking, the game they were lacking. Maybe they just switches on and you're like, it's a derby.
yeah,
It's a Manchester derby.
yeah.
We have to win it. That motivation comes in from them. And I think with the competition that Tottenham, Arsenal, these teams are giving to City right now, I think City can make it.
Yeah,
They have the team. They have the confidence they need, I feel,
yeah,
after this Brighton game.
yeah,
And also, I think they will just crush all the teams in the UCL they face this time.
yeah.
I think they have that confidence in them.
Yeah.
Shahan, you say that City is not in the best of forms. हमने कौन से झंडे गाड़ दिए?
We'll come to us later, but Manchester City's form at Etihad is fantastic. So they've just won their 21st consecutive match at the Etihad Stadium. This is an all competition since the start of 2023, and this is a new record set by a Premier League club. It's really been fantastic for them at the Etihad, isn't it, Aditya?
For sure.
They're just another beast in their home stadium.
Yeah, I mean, they're a juggernaut in general. Oh, I mean, how do you stop them?
It's really
With great
difficult.
difficulty.
Yeah, but
Are they
let's
getting
see.
those fans finally?
Oh, the stadium looks full, but I don't know if that is. I don't know if
I
that
think
is.
it's just.
I don't know if they are real people or is that AI.
Exactly. It's just
But
mannequins just
it-
planted there.
It could be AI. Anyway, we'll move on to the next game. Villa versus West Ham. Really a good game to watch. Douglas Luiz in that game. He really brought out the big guns in that one. I don't know if you saw that. He took out. This was during the start of the game. He took a shot. How good was that save for Mariola? Did you see that?
The top right corner?
The top right
Oh.
corner one.
I
It was
mean,
amazing.
That was too. I mean, he came alive in that game. Douglas Luiz was.
Yeah.
I don't know what got
What
got
got
into
into
him.
him? Yeah.
I mean, I just have no words. He was too good. Like 2 goals.
Yeah.
And is he the penalty?
He's the penalty taker now. Yeah,
is he the penalty taker
He's
for?
the penalty taker. He
he
took
is.
the penalty, right? He is.
No, he
Watkins.
took the penalty, but is he
Watkins is not. Watkins is dropped because his penalty record is not that good. So Douglas Luiz is the penalty taker.
Oh
for
damn, he's a
Villa.
good FPL pick then.
Yeah, that's what JD. You had him in your team. I think you must have got. He's a big differential. I don't think a lot of FPL managers do own him, but 2 goals and the penalty was very well taken as well. What did you make of Douglas Luiz in that game?
Initially, the reason I chose him was there were a lot of people choosing him. Like you see the game week,
Yeah,
the history and all.
yeah,
And I thought this feels like a good pick,
yeah.
and I removed Rashford, and I just
Good call, mate.
I just took him for the sake because Rashford wasn't performing that well in the FPL.
Yeah,
But when you add these players in your FPL team, you do watch these games.
yeah.
And when I saw the game, he was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
Lewis was everywhere. Like
yeah.
whenever I've seen Aston Villa play, I've always see Ollie Watkins,
Yeah.
all these players. But Douglas Lewis is insane.
Yeah.
The way he scored the goal, the way he was passing the intensity he was bringing in the game,
Yeah.
it was really good.
So Douglas Luiz has now become the first player to score in 6 consecutive home games for Aston Villa in the Premier League. He surpassed the record of Dwight York, who had 5 consecutive goals in 5 games. Aditya, the Villa midfield. We have to talk about Villa because they're playing amazingly well. The Villa midfield of Luis, McGinn, and Kamara.
Yeah,
They're really an underrated midfield, aren't they? Because there's a lot of quality over there.
there is.
There's a lot of running in that midfield, and now Douglas Luiz has got the goals as well.
Yeah,
They look quite dangerous, don't they? That midfield.
they have a good midfield. I think even Zaniolo complements it by dropping in a bit.
Yeah,
And they've got Jacob Ramsey out as well,
Yeah.
who's really an exciting prospect right now.
yeah,
So, all in all, they're quite solid in the middle of the park, and it gives them that stability with which they can now. I think from back to front, they're entirely good.
yeah.
There's a really good team. Yeah,
Attackingly as
like
well.
they're very,
Attacking,
they're
yeah.
very,
They're very slick.
yeah,
Very
and they're very
good.
stable. Like even
Yeah.
in defense, midfield, if you look at all these components individually, they're quite stable.
Yeah.
And it really, but that midfield does give them the platform to like go on and attack.
West
And
Ham weren't much into the game, right?
No,
And
it
also the
was-
goal came from
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
It was fairly interesting at in the early stages of the first half. I
Yeah.
feel they were. It was at times it was an end-to-end game,
yeah.
but the game was too stretched for West Ham. I feel because I don't think West Ham are good at playing games like that, and Villa punished them. And as you said, the goal came like it shouldn't have been a goal. It was a big deflection that sent Martinez the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
4-1 flatters them. I feel.
I'm happy that goal came because Bowen gave me 8 points, but
It took
Yeah.
it took 4 points away from me.
Took-
I didn't get the clean sheet. Come on.
It took 8 away from me. I had two
Oh,
Villa
yeah, two
defenders.
Villa
It was a
defenders.
mistake.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
Matty
man.
Cash as well, but Ollie Watkins, he got his goal. He could have had a lot more returns. You don't have Watkins in your team, right?
I do now.
Oh, you activated
Yeah,
wildcard.
yeah, yeah.
So you didn't have Watkins
didn't
last
have, I
time.
didn't.
But how good was that finish?
I mean, it's just Ollie Watkins, man. Nothing surprises me anymore.
But that
He's
finish was something. In
And that's his weaker foot as well.
left foot, on
Yeah.
the left side, on the near post of the.
Unsavable.
It is the
Unsavable.
power he generated for that shot. That it gives me goosebumps to just
Yeah.
say about it. It was so good. Good game to watch.
Yeah.
Like when you have players like Douglas, I even have Ollie Watkins in my team.
Yeah.
So when you watch these goals, oh man.
It really brings you, like playing FPL and watching your players score, that's a different level of happiness.
Yeah, it
FPL has its own downs.
But the
has its
only
own
thing of
downsides.
FPL is when you have players of your own team that are in your squad, and when they don't perform, and also when your team loses, it's double heartbreak. So that's also the flip side of FPL. We'll come to our team. We'll speak about Manchester United.
Here
a
we
little
go.
bit. Sheffield United got the job done, 2-1. Not very impressive, right? Flat performance.
We were just too bad, man. Just too very, very
for
disappointing.
for a team that is one of the worst in Europe.
We made them look like Aston Villa.
Yeah.
They play. I mean, how can Manchester United make Sheffield United look so good? They were able to penetrate our box so frequently.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no passion, there is no aggression, there is no vision. I mean, I have to go into that mode. How can you be
Raghav
be so
Chandling
bad, man?
is
Come on,
rant
man.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just too frustrating, man. This team is just too frustrating. I don't know how Eric Ten Hag is going to turn this around, but he
Yeah.
has to. I feel even with this win, the pressure is on him.
Yeah.
I think only a Manchester Derby win can change this for him drastically,
Yeah.
but I think we're going to get hammered for 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I just
But
wanted
this-
to say
I don't know, man. It's too frustrating. I don't want to talk about
Quickly,
this.
Aditya.
this rant is after a win
Yeah.
with the Manchester Derby up next.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's my problem. This
No,
this team,
our
I don't
sta-
know what's going to change
Our
that.
standards are a little higher than Chelsea at the moment. So
we are ranting about a 2-2 draw to Arsenal, by the way.
sorry.
We are ranting about a 2-2 draw to Arsenal right now. You all are
But
struggling
I know a lot
you all
of
are
Chelsea,
struggling against Sheffield
considering
United.
what
so.
happened last season for Chelsea. I think that this,
Well, if you want to look into the past, look at the past 5 seasons.
yeah, but
Where's
still,
your Champions
like,
League in that?
the last season was really low though.
It was
but-
low, and you could see our standards back then because everyone was frustrated.
Yeah, correct. So you saw the game as well
Yeah.
against Sheffield. What did you make of the game?
I watch United games for my entertainment.
Yeah.
Sorry to say.
Just cut this guy out, man. Come on.
Like a
Just cut this
Bollywood
guy
film.
out.
Because United is the most unpredictable team I've ever seen. I
Yeah,
was
at the
texting
moment.
Aditya. I was texting
Yeah.
Aditya. Yeah, for me because I've started watching of course like recent 4-5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I feel like if you're saying that United made Sheffield look like a Aston Villa team, I think Sheffield actually.
We
played
should give credit to Sheffield as
They
well. I
actually
think
played
they kind of started the game off pretty well. Had a
they
couple
did
of
put
good chances.
pressure on you guys.
Yeah.
And
Onana did well.
Onana did well.
Yeah.
No
Where
mistakes.
plaudits are to be given.
For a change, like
Good
Raya
saves.
and Sanchez took his job.
Commanded his box very well as well.
Yeah, he was
But one silent hero for Manchester United was Harry Maguire at the
good.
back.
Oh.
How good was Harry Maguire?
Distribution of his game.
Yeah.
The passes, the long balls he made.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why Harry Maguire at that time was so highly rated, was because his distribution was amazing.
He was really good in this game. I think
Yeah,
he was like even though McTominay scored the goal,
Hmm.
I think Harry Maguire was the reason that United did not concede a lot of goals.
yeah,
And the pressure he built from the back,
yeah.
pass, pinpoint.
Yeah, his
passes,
progressive passes were like way higher.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I saw a reel. It's obviously an exaggeration, but he felt like Beckham passing.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
So good.
Yeah, the flight and the weight of the
And
passes, the
especially after
distribution
getting
was.
the criticism last season
Yeah.
and at the beginning of the season of
Yeah.
his transfer.
We really have to give him his credit.
He needs-
When he
and he
plays well,
deserves it.
he has to get the credit. What do you think, Raghav, Manchester United fan? How good was Maguire?
I think more than a Manchester United fan, I should take the blame for being a certified Maguire hater. Because
I
but
see.
yeah, but this game he was really good.
Yeah.
I won't say anything. He was too good. He was one of our best players.
Yeah,
I think if Maguire was our best player, Rashford was our worst player.
yeah.
I think if
There's
if
something
Maguire
not
distribution-
right with Rashford at the moment, right?
I
He
don't
just
know
looks
what's going on. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with him because if Maguire's distribution was so good, he was the switch was so good.
Yeah,
Rashford should have the space.
should have
He
more
has
to
space.
do. Yeah,
If he has the space, then he should penetrate that space.
yeah.
Then
He has to do
he is
more.
not. He didn't do that.
I think considering where Rashford was last season, I think there's something
It's a major drop-off.
wrong
Major drop-off.
confidence-wise.
I
Yeah,
don't
so
think it's confidence. I think it's just. I think he's in the spotlight now for Manchester United.
yeah,
He is their poster guy. He is their star man.
the big contract as well.
Yeah, that big contract, and that I think that pressure is telling.
What do you make going into the Manchester derby next season? Sorry, next week, next season. I hope it's next season.
You need that
But-
long to prepare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, any team would do. I feel
Yeah.
like at this point.
What do you make of the chances?
Just one statement.
Just a quick trailer. I don't think we are going to get pumped, but
10 रुपए के गरम समोसे मैनचेस्टर डर्बी भगवान भरोसे. But no, seriously. But if Eric Ten Hag can inspire their players, I think we can the max we can hope for is a draw.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna win. There's seriously no way that we're gonna win. But I'll
it's Old Trafford.
I'll wait for the Champions League game to see how we play.
Yeah.
It's Old Trafford.
It is Old Trafford, but I want to see how we play tonight in the
Yeah.
Champions League before making any assumptions because Region is back in the team.
Yeah.
We
Just
have,
a little
we have
bit.
a natural left back,
Yeah.
so I think I'll wait for the Champions League game to make any assumptions and presumptions.
We'll move on to the next game at the moment. It was Tottenham against Fulham. Tottenham, Aditya, very impressive. Got the job done. Heung-min Son and James Maddison, the new Batman and Robin of Tottenham after Harry Kane left. What do you make of the two? How good were Tottenham?
I mean, they're quite impressive. They've done well, especially coming off the back of what happened the past few seasons.
Yeah,
And Madison's been a revelation for them.
good signing.
Really, really good signing. What is he the top assist getter for the season?
Yes, he is.
He's that
FPL
good.
pick.
Yeah, he's been that good, and Son's taken on this responsibility quite well. He's now their main man. He's now their primary
Captain.
goal threat. He's their captain, of course, and he's taken to that role like a fish to water. So
I think they were. I think Handball is showing results because as a team, Tottenham's press, Tottenham's playmaking, Tottenham's playing out from the back. It's just top notch at the moment because I watched the game end to end yesterday. Vicario playing it out to Romero to Pep Matissar, and then the trio of Kulusevski, Maddison and Son coming into the game and doing their job, showing their magic. I think the way they play out from the back is Brighton-esque.
Yeah.
They really play out from the back. They commit to the playing out from the back and their high press as well.
Yeah.
Pep Matissar is just incredible. He's been incredible so far this season. He presses so well. And I think the first goal came out of even the second goal. The first goal came out of a press when Pep Matissar just took the ball.
Yeah.
He played it out to Maddison. He played it out to Kulusevski, I think. And Kulusevski played it to Son. And Son just being Son. And the second goal was even more impressive that it was a press. Then Højbjerg just gave it to Son. Son laid it off to Maddison. I think
high
that was
intensity football.
high intensity football. Handball is just
To add on to this, I would just say we are focusing on Maddison. We are looking at Son, but Pedro Porro has been impressive.
Yeah.
I
Just
think-
because he
yeah.
was in your FPL team
No,
and he
not just because of that. If you see
Yeah.
his past game also, he has been assisting.
he
And
didn't
in
start
this-
off his career pretty well, but
Yeah, but
he's
right now
slowly getting into
So-
the
What I'm trying to say
Game.
is like these players are actually in a very good atmosphere. The
at the
confidence
moment.
they have.
It's the manager basically,
Also
I
the-
think.
I think they are going to give City and Arsenal a tough time till the end of the season. I know these have been easier fixtures for them, Tottenham, but I feel they are a team to reckon.
Do you think they're going to be there?
Yeah, till the end. Yeah, I feel.
But not just Pedro Porro. In this system, I think both their fullbacks make even Udogi.
Yeah.
He makes a big difference because they are allowed to push forward and just do their magic, do their creativity, show their creativity.
So the other games, we'll quickly browse through the other games. Just quick thoughts, Aditya. Newcastle pumping Crystal Palace. Newcastle really good.
yeah, not surprised. I mean, I gave a 2-all prediction, but okay. Not surprised. Newcastle are good. They've been up and down, but they were good in this game. I mean, there's not much to say about it.
I'll come to another game that you gave a 2-1 prediction. You said Burnley
Yeah,
to beat
but
Brentford 2-1.
I have a defense there.
But
I have a defense there.
full-time
Bold
score,
prediction.
Brentford 3, Burnley 0.
Yeah, but you will find that 2 of those goals came after a Burnley red card. So that really does change the game.
But, okay.
It does change the game. I'm not just like the Everton game was turned on that red card.
Yeah.
Burnley,
Raghav, you made a bold prediction of saying that Luton Town will beat Nottingham Forest. All of us on the panel went for a really comfortable Forest win. And that was looking like the case. Forest were leading 2-0. And then Luton just come back. And at one point you were like, is this going to happen? But it did. Impressive Luton, weren't they?
They were, but it's just the Premier League, man. It's just Premier League brings out the best, even in the worst. Just see Sheffield United. Just
No-
see Sheffield United.
no disrespect to Luton or Sheffield United.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
and the other game we kind of missed was Bournemouth versus Wolves. Wolves kind of getting there. Wang Yi-chan again, Pedro Neto, pretty impressive.
Yeah, they
Wolves.
were, and like I feel they started with the game conceding a goal,
Yeah,
and then they made a comeback.
yeah,
So yeah, like happy to see Wolves, the first team I followed in Premier League to win.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. So all in all, another controversial weekend, I would say.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Lots. The Premier League is finally back, and it gets its fair share of happiness. It gets its fair share of debate, and it gets its controversies as well. But this is the league we really love, and yeah, things surely have to improve in this league. But let's see where it takes us
Yep.
in this. So with this, we come to the end of the show. We come to the end of the review. Yeah, like I said, a lot of drama, a lot of tension, a lot of teams to look forward to, how they're going. The Premier League is really taking up shape, and so is our podcast. We've got a lot of views on our preview as well, and we urge you all to follow us on YouTube and on our social media platforms. Tell us what you think in the comments. If you agree with us or you disagree with us, we want you in the comments. And yeah, we'll be back next for a special show. No, we
We'll
have
have a
the we have
preview.
the
We have
preview
a
coming
preview.
up, and then we also have a special show on Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, subscribe for that and turn
Stay
on the
tuned, guys, stay
notifications. We are
tuned.
doing. We will be speaking about the Ballon d'Or on Sunday, so look for that in the future episodes and follow us on our socials, like I said. And with that, we'll take your leave. So, peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.